Welcome to TMZ Live. We now have a fair amount of new information about Taylor Swift Travis Kelce's wedding. And what we know is that secretly, very secretly, under tight security, a stage is being built to come over to Madison Square Garden and will literally become the centerpiece of that venue.
Of their big celebration that's going to be going down July 3rd. And you would never suspect the little town of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's kind of somewhere between Philly and Harrisburg, but they have a huge complex there where a lot of bands go to rehearse before they go on tour.
And there are stages being built at this facility. It's 100 acres. It's huge. There is one warehouse which is under lock and key right now. And there are security guards guarding that warehouse. We know it is not anything connected to a tour that is either going on or will be going on. This, we're told, is the stage that's being built for Madison Square Garden.
And Taylor has some history with the folks out there because they built her stages for the stage for the Reputation tour. They also worked on the sound for her Eras tour. So these are people she's familiar with. Makes sense she would turn to them for this big day.
And so we're being told, and we don't have this locked down, but it is increasingly feeling this way, that Madison Square Garden will not be the site of the wedding. It's going to be the party, the reception.
How's that for a reception hall? Where was your reception?
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I went to Holiday Inn for me.
I was at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, but the wedding is probably going to be a lot smaller, and this is at least what we're hearing, but Madison Square Garden is going to be a big party.
Yes.
So how do you outfit Madison Square Garden so it doesn't feel like this cavernous hole that you're going to try to hold a party in?
I have no idea, but I do know someone who probably does know and has probably done something similar. You know him from the show My Fair Wedding with David Tutera, and he has done huge events with all sorts of celebrities, including Zendaya,
Jennifer
Lopez, Elton John, the list goes on, and he is joining us now to talk about Taylor and Travis's plans. David, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So right off the bat, this is such a huge venue. And, you know, even if they have 1,000 people, it's going to feel sparse in terms of just the number of people that place can fit. So how do you make an intimate wedding that is kind of awesome in a cavernous place like Madison Square Garden?
You have to build it out. I mean, that space, we've worked in that space multiple times, and it is very much a very large space. So it's what needs to happen is we need to condense the space for them if they're choosing to do that, so it can be more intimate, because that's exactly what a wedding should be, or a party after party should be also as well. So what they need to do is they need to bring in the outside to the inside so people can feel comfortable and don't feel like they're just wandering in this massive space, which is probably just too big for this moment. So it's bringing in the things that we would do as a company.
Like what? Like what?
I would bring in trees. I would bring in visuals. I would make the exterior of the inside just beginning to squeeze in a little bit smaller and smaller, so people don't feel like they're just, you know, feeling like they're in Madison Square Garden, which you don't want it to feel like Madison Square Garden. You want to feel like this is the space that Taylor and Travis would feel comfortable in that space if it's an after party, because we really don't know if it's an after party or if we know if it's something else.
So you're talking about maybe like some giant black curtains so that it doesn't feel like or obviously you would do something more decorative than that. But you're talking about so that it doesn't feel like you're in the world's most famous arena. You're just in a space that, now I've read that on the floor alone, they can hold like 3,000 people in the garden. So even the floor space, you have to bring in the walls, as you said.
Correct. It's you know, doing this for, you know, my whole life's been this, my creations that I create for my clients is making sure that those that are in that space feel comfortable, and they also are seeing things that are unique. So for them, specifically as this couple, we can't just do something simple, and still needs to be something that's beautiful and unique so people can feel comfortable when they're walking in and seeing what's around them. So yes, Madison Square Garden, I've worked in that space many times. It's a difficult space to work in, but yet it gives you the abundance of space to create big moments. So knowing Travis and her, it would be really great that they do something that makes it feel like it's connected to the wedding at some point, but not necessarily showing a wedding. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
What I'm having trouble with is you book a venue like Madison Square Garden, and then you spend all this time and money trying to make it so people don't feel like they're in Madison Square Garden. And it just feels weird to me.
Yeah, you're spending $1 million a day, roughly, to rent out that place.
You're right. What you just said is actually accurate, but we want to make sure.
Boy, sometimes a clock is right twice a day. How about that?
Your interior decorating skills are sharpened.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if I were talking them directly to them, which probably will not happen, but the point is that if you're having 1,000 people, I'm assuming, maybe it's less or more, but I'm going to say 1,000 for that space. They need to bring in the exterior of the space and bring it in to a smaller, confined moment. That venue is massive. So you can't put a small group of people in a massive space that doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's also weird to talk about that with Taylor, who's used to making everything enormous, as we've seen on her tours. But and she's in a spot that she is played in quite frequently, and yet it's going to be much different this time.
Right. Very right.
So the wedding, we're being told, and again, we don't have this nailed down, but it is feeling like this is going to be a much smaller thing, maybe a couple hundred people. And that doesn't necessarily have to even be the same day. I mean, it could be a couple of days before. It could be in Rhode Island. I mean, it could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in New York.
Oh, wait, I just had an idea. What do you think about this, David? So wherever the wedding is, you're going to bring in some photos from the wedding, and you want to have them...
Oh, on the big screen.
You want to have them somewhere in the garden when people come in for that, right? So now I'm seeing like maybe photos of them projected.
Montages.
Yes, montage from the actual wedding day.
This should worry you. This should worry you. This should worry you because it's rubbing off. So, I mean, bottom line here, it's a formal thing. Everybody's tuxedos and ball gowns and whatnot. Does that put a damper on fun? I'm really serious about it.
Yeah, because Travis is all about fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to that many weddings, but when everybody is dressed up like they're going to the Oscars, it just seems weird that you could cut loose, with that kind of formality.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. So the confusion for me is that there's too many moments in different ways that they want to do this. And typically when you're doing, for me, for my entire career, you want to make sure that the thread from the beginning to the thread to the end connects itself when it's over. So it doesn't have too many things going on that are chaotic that don't make sense.
Right. What about food?
I was going to say, would you bring food trucks? I'd imagine you can bring food trucks in on the floor there at the garden. There's enough space.
You can, and you can also do some other things with food that doesn't have to be a food truck. It could be something that's at least a little bit more pretty, I would say, or elegant, or something that makes sense for the two of them.
We're thinking Travis wants hot dogs.
Yeah, but she doesn't. But that really raises a point that you've got this huge space, so you could still have a massive stage, and then you have tables all over the place, so you almost make it like two different venues that you have dinner and then. God, I'm hitting.
Man,
I'm hitting home runs.
You're getting that. That was good. That was good.
David, you might want to hire this guy.
Honest to God, David.
You might want to have him.
I'm serious.
I
mean, I'm in the zone here.
You are in the zone, and you're actually. You could take my job.
Okay, slow down, David.
You want to trade?
I don't know about that.
Oh, I'm in the market today. Trust me.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, it is such a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so
we're
much
big
for
fans.
the vision. We'll see. We'll see what they end up going with, but.
Let's keep talking about it.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it,
Thanks, David.
By
You
the
got
way,
it.
we are told that there is a house band.
Yes.
And that there are going to be guests who may come up and actually perform.
They're definitely, because obviously she has a lot of very talented
Sabrina
friends.
Carpenter, Gracie Abrams, Somber. There are a lot of people.
Yes, indeed. A lot of them who have toured with her.
Will
so.
she perform? Remember?
No, right?
No.
No,
Remember?
she can't.
No.
But Travis will.
Do you remember Jennifer Lopez did that?
She did, because she performed a song for Ben.
That didn't work
It
out.
didn't really work out. So.
Coming up.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Pass the peanut butter, because Jelly Roll is looking for love. He has filed for divorce from Bunnie XO.
We should just stop for a second. Kind of shocking.
Be right back.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Pass the peanut butter, because Jelly Roll is looking for love.
Wait,
No?
what?
You don't like that?
The peanut butter?
It seemed like a nice. You were talking about peanut butter earlier today, so anyway, Jelly Roll is about to be single. He has filed for divorce from Bunnie XO.
We should just stop for a second. Kind of shocking. Kind of shocking, just because. No, I mean, look, he was talking about how she saved his life.
There's a difference between hoping that they stayed together and thinking they were going to stay together.
How long were they married? Or
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
I-
or maybe just shy.
I'm a little bit shocked at this. I remember we broke the story yesterday, and when the documents came across the desk, I remember going, huh? Which I just was.
You
because
audibly gasped?
Yeah, I did.
He did actually audibly gasp, and it was very weird.
But the crazy thing is how long this went under the radar. So he filed these documents back in May 18th. So I don't know what the date is today, but a little less than a month ago. And so he lists the date of separation as May 9th. So the person I talked to last night said. The source said that it was a mutual decision and it was a private family matter. So we don't know exactly what happened here, but
that being said, they're moving pretty quickly, and I do mean moving, because we got some photos yesterday of a moving truck outside their home. This is outside Nashville where they live, and
I'm guessing because
one of them's
that
moving
bus.
out.
Well, that looks like a tour bus to me. Can you go back
that's
to
a moving company.
No, that's a moving truck.
That's a moving truck?
yeah, it's a Music City Movers.
It's in Nashville.
Oh, Music City.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
where
it.
they live.
Nashville.
Well, it looks like
Get it?
I get it, but it looks like a tour bus, which made me think it was, Mr. Roll who was leaving, and
But the
not.
Partridge Family was pulling up, and they were going to.
So, look, let me just raise this because we've seen it before. So, Jelly Roll lost a ton of weight, and we've always talked about this, that when somebody
Makes a
loses,
big change in life.
yeah, and they're kind of feeling their oats, that things can change in the relationship. So I have no idea.
It could
whether
be,
that
but the
happened.
only thing I would say is that these guys have had a fairly, I know they've been together for a long time, but there have been lots of ups and downs.
It wasn't exactly a conventional relationship. He had a son with another woman like a week before they got married.
it
she was
happens,
a
right?
sex worker.
That doesn't. No,
So,
that-
I mean, it's not like the traditional couple, but I think what people were so shocked about yesterday is, at least, like you said, he's credited two people to his big turnaround, God and his wife.
Bunnie, yeah.
And he always shouts her out, and they have a very lovey-dovey, positive, relationship on social media. So I think people were just shocked to know
But
that
again,
they're getting divorced.
that's the whole thing about, yes, social media. What you
Image.
see in social media and
Image.
what's really going on behind the scenes.
Speaking of, she posted last night.
So she posted a thirst trap talking about getting her sparkle back, which people do after a breakup.
Sure.
The audio was a Nickelback song, and someone commented being like, oh, I saw Jelly Roll perform this song at the Comedy Store, and she's like, oh, he always butchers Nickelback and Creed. And then deleted the comment. So And this was right before we broke the story. So, I mean, obviously she knew he had filed for divorce.
Well, it was a month earlier.
And she was,
Yeah,
she was moving out already.
But I think
so.
people are starting to put it together on social media. Also, he was at the CMAs and performed without his wedding ring a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
So that
But
was
nobody picked up on that.
No, and I don't know if that was just because maybe when people lose weight, is the ring too big? I don't know.
Oh,
so maybe
interesting.
that could have been his excuse.
Could be,
I don't know.
or now we know that he had already
We know what the
filed
real
for
reason
divorce.
is.
Hi, my name is Crystal, and I'm from Buffalo, New York. What I find very interesting about this situation is most of the time women are the one to leave marriages and situations, and it's very less likely for a man to actually leave a
You
marriage.
think so? You think that's right?
Yes. Yeah, men normally stay. Women are the ones to leave normally.
Ben
Statistics.
Affleck left. Ben Affleck left.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Okay,
to.
that's one.
I know. I'm trying to think of two.
There've got to be others. There are definitely others.
I'll let you know by the end of the show.
A 19-year-old man was arrested for not necessarily masterminding, but the feds say he was at the center of a plot to pull off a bloody terrorist attack at the White House during the UFC Freedom 250 on Sunday.
There were apparently, this is according to federal officials, there were 15 people on this chat, which was an anti-government, very religious group. Among them, allegedly, the 19-year-old you just saw. The plan, according to authorities, was to fly drones over the South Lawn with explosives. And when the explosives went off and people
Started running in the other direction.
there would be
have
snipers out in the street to start shooting them. And they would, in particular, be looking for billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and other notable people.
High-value targets. Yeah.
And that was, at least, that was the plan. It was foiled. And there are, I believe, now 5 people in custody.
5 people that have been in custody, indicted, and they say that the thing that led to them unraveling this whole thing was the 19-year-old's mother.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Calling the police.
And Charles, it happened so closely to the event. So mom calls the police on June 10th. Remember, the event was June 14th. The FBI then interviews Tyson on the 11th and the 12th, and he spills the beans, as they say. If that call was never made by mom, I mean, who knows what happens?
Right. This is when, they always say that, the saying that sometimes people mock it and go like, oh, see something, say something. Well, his mom said that she just noticed difference in his behavior, that there were things he was talking about, ranting about.
Right.
Now,
she called the sheriff.
We should also say, look, great she did. To pull something like this off, I mean, the White House is maybe the most heavily guarded place
Oh, the
on
airspace.
Earth.
Yeah, how would they have gotten
drones?
They've got jammers, I would imagine, there where you can't even fly those things. But who knows?
They had the plan. Whether they could have actually pulled it off,
Right.
seems.
I'm skeptical, but
Nonetheless,
Still,
it
they were
is
plotting it, and that's
really frightening.
it's enough to send you to prison for a long time if they did.
Yep.
Drexen, New York City. I had a whole thing about, it's such a big security risk to have the UFC in front of the White House, and, I'm glad that it was thwarted. But my whole thing now is that is the roughest 19 I've ever seen in my life. That, I put him behind bars immediately. That is the roughest night.
Okay.
Okay.
He definitely gets his day in court.
We shouldn't. We should not
we
co-sign
do.
on this.
Yeah.
I mean, he is who he is. But the alleged actions speak way louder
By the way,
than appearance.
they arrested people all over the country. The 19-year-old is in Ohio, but they got people in California, they got people in Washington.
Yeah.
So this was, from what they could find in these messages,
they're looking
a far-reaching plot.
They're looking for the other 10.
Yeah.
Coming up.
This is really great news for more than 100 dogs, puppies, that were rescued from a place called Ridgeland Farms in Wisconsin.
The day that I went into Ridgeland Farms and rescued beagles was the best day of my life.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Donnell Rawlings took TMZ DC on a city tour.
You know what the irony of this is? A black man takes a white person to the White House.
It's TMZ.
It's not often that we get to report just truly happy news.
Yes.
And this is really great news for more than 100 dogs, puppies, that were rescued from a place called Ridgeland Farms in Wisconsin, near Madison. Earlier this year, a group went there. These dogs were being held there for medical testing. They were being bred there and then used in medical testing. And a group called Big Dog Ranch went in there to rescue more than, I think, 150 puppies that they got out of there. And earlier this week, they reached an arrangement to have those dogs distributed to different rescue organizations around the country. So happy ending for them. But there's more work to be done. And one of the people who was involved in that, I want to call it a raid, because I feel like they went in there to really save these animals, and they would not be denied. One of the people who was with them pulling off that raid, you know, from way back in the day on Baywatch, Alexandra Paul, and she has gone on to do some really incredible work in animal rescue, and she's joining us now. Alexandra, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Can I just clarify something, Charles?
Please, yes.
Is that the facility itself has 2,000 dogs, and as of now, 1,500 have been released. That first, what you called a raid, was by the Simple Heart, or just 150 activists went in and just removed dogs peacefully. We just walked in with tools to get us into the doors, but we walked in and we were able to rescue just 21 dogs. And then 1,000 people showed up the next month because there were still so many dogs left. They were unable to get in, and animal rescue organizations like Center for Humane Economy, Beagle Freedom Project, and Big Dog Ranch Rescue that you mentioned went in and purchased the dogs from this facility that is now closing down.
So that's my first question, which is, you know, it's one thing to get the dogs out, which is great. How did you get this facility to shut down? I mean, you may not have done it directly, but there seems to be a connection. How did that happen?
So in 2017, activists went in and documented what was going on in there, and they were brought to, they were supposed to go to trial, but the day before the trial in 2024, it took a while, the Ridgeland Farms wanted the prosecution to drop the charges. So charges were dropped, and the activists were really upset because they wanted this documentation to be exposed to the public and in court so that charges could be brought of animal cruelty against Ridgeland. But the charges were dropped, and so the activists asked the judge to send in a special prosecutor to examine what's going on in this place. You see this terrible footage, and you're just going to leave it? So to the judge's credit, she did assign a special prosecutor who found over 300 counts of vet techs doing surgeries without anesthesia, very bad ventilation. The vet had to resign, the head vet, and Ridgeland Farms agreed to shut its breeding facility down to avoid felony animal cruelty charges, but nobody took the dogs away. The dogs were left there. Now, if you and I were to kick our dog and somebody saw it, the dog would be taken away. Here, there is proven animal cruelty, and none of the dogs were removed. So that's when the activists stepped in.
That's when you guys mobilized and just walked in there, which is just tremendous. That is the good news that happened in Ridgeland. But I understand there are other facilities like this that you're now have an eye on, and hopefully doing the same there.
Yeah, so if people are interested in helping, they should go to savethedogs.io, and they can learn how we are going to save all the dogs. That's me with, that's the dog I saved. Her name is Pua. She's in a happy home right now. She's so happy. I get updates regularly. There she is. Oh, Pua.
Have all of them,
why are they all beagles?
Have they all been adopted, or are you still looking?
We're still looking. So people should contact either Beagle Freedom Project, which is bfp.org/rescue if they're interested, or Big Dog Ranch Rescue if they're interested in adopting dogs. I just want to say that these dogs came in, a lot of them very psychologically damaged, shut down, so that you need a special home. The younger ones, of course, adapt more easily, but some of the dogs are 8 years old.
Yeah, they're
They've been in there.
traumatized. Yeah.
Yes, and physically also lots of infections on their paws because they were in cages with wire bottoms, and a lot of mammary gland infections because of just breeding over and over and over, teeth issues. So the older dogs need more care and love. But beagles, you asked why.
Yeah, why are they all beagles? Yeah.
Because they're so sweet. It's so ironic that their docile personality makes them perfect to be researched on, because you can torture them one day and they will still want to lick your face the next day.
Oh my God. You've been arrested more than once doing this. Look, I'm not going to hide it. I think what you do is awesome. I think what you do is absolutely awesome. But it's got to take a toll on you too, because aside from, getting arrested, dealing with all that, just emotionally seeing what you see must be really difficult over time.
The day that I went into Ridgeland Farms and rescued beagles was the best, and then got arrested, was the best day of my life. And I spent 2 days in jail. It was literally the best day of my life. Better than my wedding day. And I have an amazing husband of 30 years, an amazing husband, but it's so profound, and I don't get burned out because of the community of people who are so passionate. If I did it alone, it would be devastating. But because I have such a passionate community of animal lovers, it just buoys me. And I always say that acting makes me happy, but activism feeds my soul. And may I just, Charles, you mentioned that we're not done.
Yeah, I know there's a place in upstate New York, right?
Yeah, there's Marshall Bioresources has 20,000 dogs that it currently tests on. It has 40,000 animals.
Oh my God.
There are 20,000 dogs in there, probably most of them beagles. And we will be going there also, and we're telling the world to join us to save the dogs.
You are awesome.
I hope there are more people join you.
And we're on your side.
Yeah.
Thank you. SaveTheDogs.io.
Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thanks, Alexandra.
Bye.
Coming up.
Well, the bad news for the Beckham family is that there is not going to be any reunion, apparently, anytime soon between Brooklyn and his parents, David and Victoria. The good news for Brooklyn is he's found a way to monetize this family battle.
Be right back.
Well, the bad news for the Beckham family is that there is not going to be any reunion, apparently, anytime soon between Brooklyn and his parents, David and Victoria. The good news for Brooklyn is he's found a way to monetize this family battle. Check out his new deal with DoorDash.
You're probably wondering why I'm watching the FIFA World Cup 2026 from home. It's a long story.
Okay, I gotta say, I love it.
It's complicated more soon.
I love it because it's funny.
You love it from...
it's just funny.
It's funny.
And, people who are saying...
it's for profit.
Siobhan in our office is so triggered. She is triggered by this, saying that he's a terrible son, and he's profiting, blah, blah,
I'm not going to say he's a terrible son, but it is interesting to he made the decision to make money off of something when he was very critical of his parents, sort of, as he put it, like that everything was about the Beckham brand. Well, he's doing his own.
Brand.
Now this is the Brooklyn Beckham brand.
Okay. Yeah, he is getting torched online about this. A lot of people are saying that it's so low of him to criticize his family, make fun of them. Obviously, it's really on the nose, him talking about how he's not at the World Cup when his dad was a soccer superstar. Brooklyn famously would go as a kid to all of David's
all
of his games. Yeah. And here he is, poking fun at them, but they're saying that the possible last time this family was together was Christmas 2024.
Yeah, no.
So it's been years.
They are cut off.
The part that doesn't track is Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola have plenty of money. He can go to the World Cup if he wants to.
Her family is richer than his family.
Yes, exactly. So they could go to the World Cup.
Yeah,
unless David's put some ban on Brooklyn that we don't know about.
Look, it is not like he needs this money. So the money is almost beside the point.
So it's really just a troll of his parents.
I think he's trolling. But you know what? It kind of works both ways. I mean, they did things too. So, look, they don't...
Well, hold on. What did they do to troll him? I mean...
Well, they cut him off. They wouldn't let him come and see early. Remember, they were having a birthday party.
Right, and he wanted to come
early,
before.
and they wouldn't let him.
Right.
And so, look, there's bad blood in the family. And
if you can make some money off that bad blood, why not?
But it's not making money. It's making life.
It's making money.
Okay, who cares? How's that money going to change his life?
I didn't say it's going to change his life. All the more reason not to do it.
Her family's they're billionaires.
But even if he did it for no money, it still would be just as bad.
No, that's why I think it's just as good. It's funny, and he is making light of a difficult situation.
You just love anybody stoking the fires.
Yes.
Of anything.
Yeah.
Just stir it up.
You know, I just find it hypocritical though, because you can't say that you want to be separate from like the Beckham name and then be in an advert that's a World Cup advert, which by the way, you're in that because of your Beckham name. Your dad was a former footballer, and like be shady. I don't know. I don't know. It just...
God, all the reasons you hate it, I love it.
Right. All the things you said are true, but he loves all that.
Okay, this week has got to end. It's great it just got to end.
I just noticed we were wearing the same thing, and so I just wanted to, differentiate so people can tell the difference.
Okay.
Besides other obvious things. So Tom Holland and Zendaya, are they married or aren't they? You know, several months ago, La Roche came out and said that they already got married and you guys missed it. But then they never, ever confirmed it.
I totally did not believe him.
They didn't confirm it. They didn't deny it either. They just kind of let it sit there.
It just felt like they were doing this to troll.
Well,
I did not believe it.
I think, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he slipped up, but Tom Holland has let the cat out of the bag.
Yep.
It appears from an interview he did with Esquire. And that July-August issue of Esquire UK is out tomorrow, where the reporter asked him about, there was a report that his grandmother was looking at all these AI photos that were, after La Roche made his comment, there were all these AI photos of their wedding. And his grandmother apparently asked him,
why wasn't I invited?
What's going on here? And Tom's response, and the reporter said, did your family ask, they must have been wondering, what is the deal with all these photos? And Tom simply replied to them, and this is important, no, because they were all there. Well, where would they be?
Because
he has to be talking about
the family
members.
There's no other way of looking at that.
The family members were there for the wedding.
I guess the question is, why wasn't the grandmother there?
Maybe grandma was there and she just saw these photos. She's like, what are these?
Oh, I got it. So it wasn't the way the wedding looked.
Yeah, let's not get any disrespect to grandma.
But they clearly got married.
Yes, I mean that's probably as close as we're gonna get as a confirmation from them.
But they've always been a very private couple. I don't understand. You hate PDA. You hate when couples are doing too much. They don't do too much.
I don't have a problem with this at all. I mean, they're just like, they have no obligation to tell the world.
Before I went on vacation, you said that he loved her too much and that he had an obligation to not love her so much so loudly.
Different day, different opinion.
Well, yes and yes, as a matter of fact. Yes and yes. That they have a right to not say that, they don't want to say they got married. He kind of did. I mean, it's very Taylor Swifty.
1,000%. And he did it very classy, very not too much, not too little.
Boy,
enough.
Talk about a contrast that you look at Zendaya and Tom Holland, and they are totally under the radar, and then you look at Travis and Taylor, and it's like, New Year's and 4th of July.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because Taylor used to be like the Zendaya type, very low-key, very just not putting too much, but then she got with Travis, who's very loud, proud, and out there. And he kind of made her be loud, proud, and out. We've seen Taylor doing more things than we've ever seen her do.
Taylor Swift would have had this wedding if she was married to somebody else.
The low-key one that no one knows
the
about.
high-key one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know.
I absolutely believe that.
I don't know.
Can we just move on, please?
My name is Aubrey, and I'm from Georgia. And honestly, Tom Holland would be the one to spoil their wedding the most, considering the fact that he has a track record of spoiling movies that he's in. But no, I think that.
Oh man, that was an
so
unnecessary shot.
And I love him though, but he, as a #1 Tom Daya shipper, I feel like this is so cute, and I'm so glad that they're keeping it low key, just because I think that's best for their privacy. But no, yeah, I think it's so funny that he's the one that ended up giving us the biggest hint at their wedding.
Coming up.
Nicki Minaj has not only found MAGA and President Trump, she's found God, and she has some concerns about her music catalog when it comes to religion.
Be right back.
Nicki Minaj has not only found MAGA and President Trump, she's found God, and she has some concerns about her music catalog when it comes to religion. This is what she had to say recently about her music on a podcast.
Oh, now I get it.
Bing! Light bulb.
Do you think the music scene is very demonically organized? Is there a lot of crazy stuff that happens in there? Can you kind of tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it sure isn't driving people to God, because it focuses on the worship of material things. And we all play a part in it. I've played a part in it, of course. A lot of the stuff that I was rapping about, I didn't, I was so young too. I didn't realize that there are young people listening to it and how it could probably make them make certain decisions that wasn't, really thought out. Now, if I could do it all over again, I would have changed a lot of things that I said.
Huh. So when she goes on tour again, if she does she sing her songs?
She might. If she does, she might change the lyrics.
Is she not going to do Anaconda?
It might actually be about. No, now it'll be about the snake trying to tempt Eve.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, there's lots of artists that do this. They find religion, they get older. Like
Who's
you said,
the
Donna Summer.
Donna Summer was famously.
She stopped performing her song "Love to Love You, Baby" because it was too explicit. Prince stopped cursing. Bob Dylan went through a born-again phase and rejected his whole past catalog. Snoop Dogg for a while.
There was another rapper.
Snoop did for a little
there
bit,
was a rapper who became a pastor, and I forgot his name.
Mace. Montel Jordan, who did This Is How We Do It, did it. This happens a lot.
It's all the rage.
Religion,
I
it's
don't
trending.
Say that.
Marion from Doha, Qatar. I think that we all love a good rebrand, and every artist is entitled to change and evolve into a much better version of themselves. But we need to remember, Nicki wouldn't be the Nicki Minaj without her iconic lyrics, her iconic music. So she can now inspire her fans into becoming and embracing every single version past of themselves, because that brought them into who they are. And I feel like that will be a refreshing perspective into her new spiritual and artistic journey.
So, do you say you're from Qatar?
Yes.
Oh my God, are you in Qatar now?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so interested.
What?
Can I ask you a question about Qatar?
Oh boy.
Please.
Why do you guys give Trump that plane? I'm just.
I'm not sure if I actually know that. I don't think I know that. I wish I had that information, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
That's all right. You're not supposed to know. Even if she did know, she definitely couldn't say it here.
That's really true.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Coming up.
I contacted Armie Hammer after the charges were dropped, and I said, do a network documentary with me and lay out what really happened here.
Be right back.
Armie Hammer comparing himself to Jesus. More specifically, comparing himself to Jesus on the cross. What this has to do with is a conversation he had with his father when there were the allegations that he was facing of cannibalism, and his father was trying to basically encourage him to fight this, to come out and say his side of the story, which, remember, Armie was very quiet the whole time that the investigation was going on, dragging on, really, and ultimately he was not charged with anything criminally. This is what he said his father was encouraging him to do. He said his father, was furious, said, I'm going to call this person, I'm going to do this. We have to make sure they know this. He really wanted to go on the offensive. But Armie responded, I said, look, dude, I'm already on the cross. The nails are in my hands. I'm not getting off this cross no matter what we do. And the more I struggle, the longer I'm going to be up here.
So I think he made a huge mistake. Number one, these charges, they weren't even charges. It was BS. that if you really look at this, the main allegation was a role play, and a long time before the investigation was dropped, they had already made the decision to drop it. The DA was just afraid to do anything because they'd look weak.
Right.
So
but the same reason the DA was afraid not to do anything is the same reason Armie, I think, felt like, I'm not going to fight this publicly like this because the wave was already on top of him. And he just felt inundated. He's like, there's nothing I can say that's going to make this go away. There was a docuseries that came out, all of that stuff. And he's like, let's just let it pass. We've seen other people take this approach, whether it's right or wrong.
Well, we've seen Hugh Grant do it, and Hugh Grant had his whole career resurrected. But I got to tell you, I'm just going to be honest here. I contacted Armie Hammer after the charges were dropped. Right. And I said, do a network documentary with me and lay out what really happened here, because he hadn't said it. And he was gonna do it, and then he just went silent on it. And I think that just kind of letting it lie the way he did not do him any favors, because
this makes it clear, though, why he felt like that was the right path to take.
Maybe at that time, when they were still doing the, quote, investigation, which they weren't, because it sat, the police knew this was gonna get dropped for months and months and months.
But did Armie know that?
Armie knew it. Armie knew
that it was going to be
But
dropped.
they just weren't doing it because they were afraid they would look weak. But I think the way he handled this, he did these kind of wonky things with his mom on her podcast. I don't know, it did him any favors.
I think it should have been one interview and done. I mean, the fact that we are still talking about it now a couple years later, at this point, he should be getting back into the spotlight. Like, he should have an agent and a manager booking him gigs again. And I think less talking about the past and maybe just moving forward.
Yeah, he talked about it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yet he talked about it there.
Brendan's point is stop.
Yeah, just
stop,
move on.
Or talk about it and move on. Because, there were people in our morning meeting today who were saying, I'll never forget it because it sounded so bad. If he sits down and explains it, then it might reset things. Honestly.
Coming up.
Boy, have I got a deal for you. How would you like to live in Quincy Jones' estate in Bel Air? They have dropped the price by $25 million.
Be right back.
Boy, have I got a deal for you. Well, actually, I don't have the deal, but the Quincy Jones estate has a deal for you if you've got a few bucks in your pocket. How would you like to live in Quincy Jones' estate in Bel Air? That place, it looks like a compound. It is beautiful. It is now back on the market. It had been on the market. They took it off, but they have dropped the price by $25 million. It is now.
Can we just
you want to know what the number is?
But stay on that for a moment. Dropped the price by $25 million.
Yeah, that means there was a realtor somewhere who
went crazy, right?
Overestimated.
Yeah.
And now you can get it for $35 million, which is still a hunk of change, but...
So my calculation is they were asking $60 million for it.
Look at you.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
It only took you how long to do that math? Like 30 seconds?
So Jennifer Lopez, if you're looking, frying pan, meet the fire.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.